Okay, so my screen is visible to everyone.
हाँ दादा.
Okay, so so what do you understand by biochemistry? Can anyone tell me what is biochemistry? Except Deeptok and except Deeptok. Anyone else?
কি বললে?
What is biochemistry? What do you understand by the term biochemistry?
Like it's all
Biochemistry
about
is
pro.
about
Okay, okay. Who is speaking? Other than Roy's editorial?
Shresha speaking.
Okay, Sreshta is very enthusiastic. Let Sreshta answer.
Like it's all about protein, carbohydrates, lipids, nucleic acids, enzymes.
So what you just told, these are the main building blocks of biochemistry. Okay, I would get the view of Prasaman.
Yes, Dada. Biochemistry is the chemical composition of biological entities, chemical structure,
Okay, is it only about the composition? Anyone wants to add?
structure,
Huh?
chemical structure, then bonding.
Okay,
Should I add something?
not at the end. Up, up. Okay, Prasaman, good. Sreshta also good. Abdul,
biochemistry is about chemicals and living organisms.
okay. So you're telling that it is
Yeah,
about,
chemical interaction in living organisms.
yes, to an extent correct. Okay.
একটু চেষ্টা করব।
হ্যাঁ বল, say
Um,
in Hindi or
ba-
English.
okay, okay. So, biochemistry, maybe it is the chemical process and molecular mechanisms occurring in living organisms.
So first of all, it's not molecular mechanisms. ठीक है, it is much deeper. It is much intricate than the molecular mechanism. Okay, we in the biochemistry we deal with individual element. Okay, and when you are telling molecules, it generally gives the broad perspective of how to, like, how a system is happening, how a virus is entering a cell. That is a molecular mechanism. Okay, but we go much deeper. Okay, anyone else who wants to add anything? Otherwise, I will ask Deep Talk. Okay, Deep Talk.
हाँ भैया, वो मतलब like it is a interaction of chemical processes inside a living organism. जैसे like cells में होता है metabolism etc.
Metabolism. Very good. I was looking for this word. Okay, so let's go in the PPT. Okay, so what is biochemistry? So the biochemistry, so bio means living things, right? So chemistry of living beings is biochemistry. Okay, I hope this much is clear. Or chemical basis of life. Understood? So biochemistry kya hai? It is how in a living setting, in a living substance or in a living organism, various elements are interacting with each other to form something productive. Understood?
हाँ.
Okay. So life in biochemistry point of view is hundreds of biochemical reactions and biochemical processes. Okay. So actually it's not 100, it should be thousands or millions. Okay. Thousands of biochemical reactions and biochemical processes that are happening inside a cell. If you pick up any living cell, may it be very primitive bacteria or an advanced eukaryotic cells like that of us, all cells will have certain definite biochemical reactions that are taking place. Very good example that you all have studied at some point is glycolysis. Okay, so everyone knows glycolysis, right? What is
Yes.
glycolysis?
हाँ
What is glycolysis? Tanisha?
In glycolysis, glucose converts to a three carbon molecule pyruvate. It produces two pyruvate from one glucose molecule.
Very good, very good. And any idea about the energy efficiency of glycolysis?
टू स्टेप होता है, एक पे ऑफ फेज और एक
I just
प्रिपरेटरी
want to
फेज.
know how many ATP molecules are generated at the end of glycolysis. Okay, we will go into details afterwards when we will do glycolysis. Okay. Okay. Very good, Tanisha. So, where is this chemical reactions taking place? It is taking place in the subcellular organelles of a cell in an organized manner. Okay, I have like we will know why eukaryotic cells are more developed. The first reason is compartmentalization. Can anyone tell me what is compartmentalization and why it is important? Okay, why some reactions takes place in the cytoplasm and they cannot take place in the nucleus, whereas some reactions can take place in the nucleus and not in the cytoplasm. Can anyone tell me the reason? Can anyone tell me the reason?
कंपोजिशन अलग होता.
What composition? Yes, it is correct to a certain extent. Composition is different. Okay, so let me give a brief overview. Any biological reaction, ठीक है, tends to be very slow. Okay, because it has to make a substance which is of good quality product for the sustenance of life. At this stage I would use this word only. So it is very slow, so we need certain catalysts to fasten this process, and these catalysts are known as, anyone?
एंजाइम.
Enzymes. So what are enzymes? Enzymes are catalyst, biocatalyst that increases the rate of a reaction, right? They increase the rate of a reaction and itself
हाँ
is not getting changed. Understood?
हाँ
Huh. So these enzymes, certain enzymes that are glycolysis are present only in the cytoplasm. That's why glycolysis takes place in the cytoplasm and not in the nucleus. Simple. Understood? This is what is known as compartmentalization. Who is compartmentalizing here? The nuclear membrane is compartmentalizing here. Understood, everyone? What is compartmentalization?
हाँ
Okay. So this is why organized manner is important. Okay. So we all know biochemistry is a branch of life science, of course, which deals with the study of biochemical reactions and processes. We all know this thing, I will not go into details. And of course, it occurs in the living organism. Okay. So one thing I want to discuss. So everyone who is pursuing zoology, botany, or any of the core biology subjects, microbiology, biochemistry, these have been introduced in recent history. It is not very core biology subjects. Okay. So those who are doing BSc in microbiology, biochemistry, or wants to do masters in virology. So when I started doing masters, before that I had a question: aren't or amn't I decreasing the narrowing my stream, like whether I would be able to get a PhD or some other jobs after this. Okay, this is a valid question, right?
Huh.
Do not fall in this trap. Nothing is a narrowing thing. In virology, we have been trained with every other technique that a biochemistry, microbiology, or a botany or zoology student needs to know. Okay, I am telling of the technique, not the experiments. Okay, so do not fall in this trap that my field will get narrow, then I will don't get job. It's not like that. If anyone is studying virology, okay, there is only one other institute or two other institute in India other than NIV who is giving a degree in virology. One is Manipal, Mahe. ठीक है, they have a huge student capacity and all, but believe me, nothing is as good compared to NIV. ठीक है, the only problem with NIV, only one problem. So what is the main job of National Institute of Virology? Anyone knows?
Development of vaccines.
It is one job. Yeah. Any others job? It is a diagnostic laboratory. To be very honest, it diagnostic certain. It is a diagnostic development laboratory. So if you are joining NIV for a PhD degree, then I would say be prepared that you will get a little aloof from basic biology. So what is basic biology? Understanding the molecular mechanisms of how certain things are happening inside a cell. NIV's objective is not this. Okay. NIV's objective is not this. So NIV's objective is to develop diagnostics and to understand the epidemiology of a disease. Okay. So you have to be prepared. But if you're doing masters, then it will be a win-win situation from the practical perspective. Okay, you will not get a lab much more funded and much more heavily equipped than National Institute of Virology. Okay, no IITs, no ISERs, no IISCs will can have the capacity to stand beside NIV and say that we have a better infrastructure than you. It's not possible. Okay, so doing masters is a good option if you want an exposure. But for virology, PhD, I would say there are better labs where you can explore more. Okay, but now there are certain things that are getting changed. Okay, they are focusing a bit far than diagnostics too. But this thing is now it is due to the director. Now, if this director changes, then the new director may not allow all these things. Okay, so it's very skeptical. So doing masters is a very good option for you guys from MS for National Institute of Biology. Okay, let's get into this. मैं क्यों गया था उधर भूल गया मैं अच्छा नैरोइंग जैसे ओके ठीक है हाँ so this is clear. So branches of biochemistry. First comes medical biochemistry, which deals with the chemical basis of the human body. So what is medical biochemistry? It deals with the chemical basis of the human body. In human body, how various biomolecules are triggering or decreasing certain symptoms or effects of a disease. Okay. Clinical biochemistry deals with the clinical diseases, pathological conditions of the human bodies. So, medical biochemistry gives the notion of how things are going wrong. In clinical biochemistry, it comes under medical biochemistry only. So it deals with the disease in particular, like for what enzyme, for the deficiency of what enzyme or what protein this disease is happening in our body. So this identification has to be done by a biochemist. Understood?
हाँ.
Huh. Now, clinical biochemistry has also a part of diagnostics. Okay, therapy, after you can diagnose, if you know for what pathogen or for what reason this disease is happening, then you can start discovering a therapy or treatment against that disease. Okay, and together this is called research. Okay, okay, now see, a whole big circle is a biochemistry, under which there is medical biochemistry. Under medical biochemistry there is clinical biochemistry. Clinical biochemistry mainly deals with the diagnostics part. Okay, now bacterial biochemistry, it deals with the microbes, like at the microbes level what molecules are doing what. Now in plant biochemistry, it deals with plants. In animal biochemistry, it will deal with animal, and industrial biochemistry deals with the industrial products, which is involving living organisms. Okay. Now historical developments. So biochemistry emerged in the late 18th and early 19th century. Understood? When did it emerge? The late 18th and early 19th century. The term biochemistry was introduced by the German chemist Carl Neuberg. Okay, so who introduced the term biochemistry? Carl Neuberg in the year 1903. In 1940s, clinical biochemistry evolved as an autonomous field. So very like in the history only 1940s, clinical biochemistry is completely separated. Okay, which is a huge field. Understanding the dynamics of the hosts, pathogens, and the proteins which are involved, mainly proteins, is another world. Okay, so some pioneer workers in the field of biochemistry. Berzelius. It discusses enzyme catalysis. Edward Buchner, enzyme extraction. Louis Pasteur, fermentation. Lohmann, role of creatine phosphate in muscles. Hence Krebs, TCA cycle or Krebs cycle. Banting and McLeod, insulin. Fisk and Sparrow, role of ATPs. So there are many more. It's never-ending list. Okay, Watson and Crick, double-stranded DNA, Landsteiner, protein structure, Mitchell, oxidative phosphorylation, Nirenberg, genetic code on mRNA, Paulberg, rDNA technology, Carimulis, PCR, very famous, right? Carimulis. Now next comes Khurana. Khurana is synthesized gene. Artificial gene was synthesized by Khurana. Okay. So what will be our aims and objectives to study this subject? To know various biomolecules composed in human body, their chemistry and their structure, their occurrence and their location, and their functions and their roles. Okay, can anyone tell me from what time Shayon has given for his class?
দাদা আবার বলো।
Shayon, at what time he will take class? Any update?
9 p.m.
9 p.m. Okay, now after my class. Okay, I'll just very fast go through this PPT. There is nothing new. This is a very brief concept of what we will study over the period of study you will do with me. Determination of mode of action of biomolecules, very important. So how these biomolecules are acting. By isolate, we will do isolation. We will do structure elucidation. So once we've isolated a biomolecule, then if we know its structure, with various biochemical techniques, we can understand a protein structure. Anyone knows any technique which is used to identify a protein structure? Anyone knows about X-ray crystallography? X-ray crystallography, no one knows.
Question. What is the question,
The,
please?
the question is, how can we elucidate a protein structure? Any particular technique are you aware of? X-ray crystallography, no one knows. Okay, you need to study more. especially the people who are in the third year. Okay. Next, we will understand completely all the organized biochemical processes. We will learn very deeply about glycolysis, Krebs cycle, then in plant biology also we will learn about many processes. Okay. Now, of course, they occur in living cells at molecular or subcellular levels. Identification of disease mechanism, as I already mentioned. Okay, study of inborn errors in metabolism. There are various metabolic disorders. So these metabolic disorders, they happen due to the overexpression or less expression of a particular kind of biomolecule. Understood? Now, study of oncogenesis in cancer is also involves biochemistry. Now, medical biochemistry, medical or human biochemistry is a branch of biochemistry which deals with biochemical constituents of the human body. When we tell medical biochemistry, we will consider humans. Okay.
Hmm.
Hmm. We will understand the chemical composition, study of biochemical aspects of cell and its subcellular organelles. So these are the various biomolecules we will be focusing on: carbohydrates, lipids, proteins, vitamins, minerals, and water. Okay. Hmm. We will study food and its constituents, dietary nutrients that builds up the human body and maintain health. Um, so these all we know the basic things. Preventive medicine. Okay, metabolism of biomolecules, catabolic anabolic pathways. This will be our major focus. Catabolic and anabolic pathways, which is the syllabus of JAM and GATB and all other exams. Energy-rich biomolecules. We will study about ATP in details. ATP and other biomolecules that are important for energy. Um, Okay, next we will study biomolecules and the homeostasis, like how it maintains. Anyone know what is homeostasis? Anyone? Shrestha, what is homeostasis? Left the meeting. Shrestha, very good. Abdul, what is homeostasis? Anyone? Anyone? Just unmute yourself.
দাদা আমি আছি। Can you repeat again?
Where were you? I will not repeat again. Why you are not attentive in the
একবার
class?
জল খেতে গেছিলাম।
Okay, what is homeostasis? What is homeostasis?
Uh, it maintains conditions for enzyme function।
Mm, five,
मतलब stable environment থাকতে হবে।
5 to 10% correct. Now 20% correct. Okay, so homeostasis is nothing but to maintaining the environment and conditions so that normal body functions can go on. Okay, it is maintaining the stasis of the body. Okay, we will study these in details. Role of various biomolecules. Okay, like human body. Membrane. We will also, this part will be covered in the cell biology, like the transport mechanism and signal transduction. I think cell biology will be taught by Shubhodev, right?
Yes, Shanda.
Shayanda. Okay, very good. I think immunology will be taught by Shubhodev.
Ha.
Hmm. Okay, so I know there will be no doubts from today's class. This was a very brief overview of what um, I am going to teach you guys. So today I am leaving a bit early, but generally my class is of 1 hour, max to max 1 hour 10 minutes. I do not take long classes. Okay, neither do I can keep my concentration well. And when I was a student, I could also not take classes more than 1 hour. Yeah, my brain doesn't works for more than 1 hour in the same thing. Okay. In that way, I'm very poor. I don't have a lot much of concentration. It takes me time to concentrate on certain things. Okay. So I would end my class today here. Anyone who do not have any question can leave today's meeting.
দাদা
হ্যাঁ,
ওই লেনিনজার থেকে তাহলে ফার্স্ট কোনটা থেকে শুরু করবো?
whenever I will teach a topic, I have discussed this. Okay, whenever I will teach a topic, you guys will go back and read a book that I will mention. From that book, if you have any doubts, come up in the just next class. But beforehand, send me a screenshot, send me a pic of the portion that you are not able to understand, so that I can go through it before making you understand. Okay, and especially study only those topics which I will cover in the class. Do not try to cover up the whole Leninger book. Everyone knows Leninger, right? Leninger's Principles of Biochemistry.
হুম।
हाँ भैया.
Okay, so that's the Bible of biochemistry. Okay, there are other books, Stryer, Voigt, but those are a bit difficult ones. So go to the Leninger only. Okay, study the topics only which I will teach you, because there are so many other things in the book which are not in your syllabus. Okay, you will have a huge syllabus that you need to remember before going to the exam. So it's okay. Okay, if you do not have any doubt, you guys can leave and join Shayon's lecture.
হ্যাঁ দাদা, টাটা।
Tata. Good night.